The biological inputs your body receives in the first hour after the shock of waking up dictate your baseline metabolic rate. Those inputs signal to your endocrine system whether it should be burning energy, storing it, or preparing for high stress. Because of this, a very specific 10-pillar morning routine has gained immense traction across fitness media. It's pitched as a guaranteed way to optimize your hormones, stabilize your appetite, and force your body to burn fat more efficiently. The protocol includes strict directives. You drink water immediately. You get outside for morning sunlight. You eat a high-protein breakfast. You stretch, and you move your body. The problem is how this advice is packaged. Wellness influencers frame these 10 distinct, biologically taxing interventions as a single, simple morning habit. Treating a heavy logistical workload as a quick fix guarantees overwhelm and eventual failure. This diagram compares the marketing label of a simple routine against its actual logistical reality. Moving your body requires 30 minutes. Getting natural sunlight takes 10 minutes. Stretching takes 5. Before you've even looked at your kitchen, you have spent 45 minutes managing your body. The nutritional requirements, preparing a high-protein breakfast and planning your meals for the day, require at least another 15 minutes of cooking and cleanup. Executing the complete protocol demands over an hour of uninterrupted time. Attempting this massive daily time commitment causes time bankruptcy. You are trying to cram a part-time job into a busy weekday morning. To actually get the metabolic benefits without burning out, you need a triage strategy. This is a 4-quadrant evaluation chart. We are tracking metabolic impact on the y-axis against the actual effort and time input on the x-axis. This will show us which of the 10 habits actually move the needle for fat loss relative to the effort they require. After sleeping, your body wakes up dehydrated. Drinking a glass of water immediately supports cellular hydration and digestion, gently prompting your metabolism. It requires zero prep, placing it squarely in the low-effort, moderate-impact zone. Natural sunlight directly influences your circadian clock. Exposure to the sun signals your brain to halt melatonin production and optimize your waking hormone release, making weight management physically easier on your system. However, sunlight comes with specific logistical trade-offs. It requires you to put on clothes, physically go outside, and rely on favorable weather. Together, water and sunlight form your essential biological baselines. These baselines cost no money and take very little time. Their actual friction comes from forcing yourself to take immediate physical action instead of lying in bed scrolling on your phone. Next are the nutritional habits: eating high-protein breakfasts, avoiding hidden sugars, and planning your daily meals. This line graph shows the biological effect of your breakfast choices. Standard breakfasts, like pastries or flavored yogurts, cause a sharp blood sugar spike followed by a steep crash, triggering hunger by 10 a.m. Swapping those for protein sources, like eggs or Greek yogurt, creates a stable, rolling wave of energy. Stabilizing your blood sugar suppresses mid-morning cravings, and the high protein intake helps your body preserve muscle mass even if you are eating in a caloric deficit. Returning to our quadrant chart, we have to account for the heavy logistics involved here. High-protein breakfasts and meal planning demand active weekend grocery shopping and eliminate the convenience of grabbing a quick cereal bar on your way out the door. Consistently avoiding hidden sugars forces you to assemble real, whole foods every single morning, adding unavoidable prep time to your schedule. Nutrition yields the highest internal metabolic returns of any morning habit, but it introduces the heaviest logistical hurdles to clear before you start your commute. That brings us to the physically demanding habits: 30 minutes of elevated heart rate movement and 5 minutes of stretching. Moving your body every morning directly increases total daily caloric expenditure and immediately improves your insulin sensitivity, meaning your body processes breakfast more efficiently. But the time costs here compound rapidly. A 30-minute workout requires you to wake up at least 30 minutes earlier and then demands another 10 to 15 minutes for a shower and change of clothes. Looking at our matrix, we can evaluate the true behavioral cost of these physical demands. These habits lock into the maximum effort, high-impact quadrant. Waking up early to sweat requires a massive reserve of daily willpower. Physical demands provide the most direct, measurable physical results. Because of that exact friction, they also represent the biggest behavioral vulnerability. When people miss their morning workout, they tend to abandon the rest of their healthy habits for the day. The final category deals with your nervous system: 30 minutes of digital abstinence upon waking and 3 minutes of focused deep breathing. Checking emails or social media the moment you wake up spikes cortisol. Pausing to breathe and avoiding your phone blunts that early morning stress response. The fat loss impact here is strictly indirect. Deep breathing does not burn calories. Instead, keeping your cortisol low suppresses the stress-induced cravings that usually hit you at 3 p.m., preventing bad dietary decisions later in the day. We can now plot the final habits onto our matrix. They require very low physical effort and yield moderate direct impact, but the trade-off is intensely psychological. You are battling a profound addiction to dopamine loops the moment you wake up. Managing your morning cortisol requires virtually zero physical exertion. You don't have to sweat or cook, but it demands immense psychological discipline to leave that phone on the nightstand. Your body doesn't care about a perfect 10-step routine if you only do it twice a week. The core biological principle is habit consistency over habit volume. Mathematically, executing just 2 of these habits for 300 days will yield far better metabolic results than attempting all 10 habits for 14 days and then burning out. The question is not which of these habits are best. The practical question you have to answer tonight is, how much extra time do I actually have tomorrow morning? This triage decision tree maps you must commit to one of 3 available time brackets. Strictly adhering to a realistic time constraint and refusing to take on more than you can handle is the only proven method to build a sustainable metabolic routine. If you are a time-poor professional operating under a tight 5-minute constraint, your focus is strict biology and cortisol control. Drink water, ignore your phone, and drink a protein shake. Eliminate complex cooking and skip exercise entirely to secure the baseline. If you are an overwhelmed beginner with 15 minutes to spare, focus your efforts on the craving pathway. Get 10 minutes of natural sunlight, do deep breathing, and aggressively avoid hidden sugars at breakfast, investing time into preventing an afternoon crash. Finally, if you are an optimizer with 45 minutes or more, you actually have the bandwidth to safely add the 30-minute movement and the daily stretching to those baseline protocols without risking time bankruptcy. The optimal morning routine is not the one with the most steps. It is the one you can reliably execute on your most exhausting days. Pick your time constraint, lock in your habits, and let consistency do the work.